I want to welcome you to episode 40 of Everything Entrepreneurship with Kyle Jerome Carter. This is the place, this is the home, this is the podcast for ambitious professionals just like you who are building their dreams in between meetings, after work, and before the sun rises. Today I got a chill episode because time of recording, we're experiencing a snowstorm, you feel me? It's going to be short, to the point, yet valuable, something that you can use now as well as over the long term as well. Before we go any further, I can't go any further without saying thank you to everybody that's listening on Apple Music and Spotify. I see those numbers slowly going up each and every week, and I appreciate it. And if you're watching this on YouTube, which is the right way, hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate the feedback that I'm getting. People actually clicking my links, talking to me, telling me their thoughts, and asking for some help and assistance. I'm here for you. So without further ado, it's a Tuesday. Get your coffee, get your drink, get your snack, whatever it is that you do, because we're in for a good episode. Let's get into it. All right, so like I said, this is going to be a chill and relaxing episode, yet valuable. Something that you can take and implement today as well as over the long term. And this comes from the fact that I've been in your situation. And I don't want you to keep on missing out on the opportunities to progress further, get your business off the ground, start making some money so you're actually profitable, right? And with the time of recording, it is a bad snowstorm, right? I guess that's where we can start. All week, people have been saying this is going to be an insane snowstorm. We're going to get anywhere from 0 to 100 inches of snow. And I believe we got 8 or 9, right? So though I was born in Jersey, I was raised in Michigan. And with that being said, Michigan is no stranger to snow, ice, sleet, bad driving conditions. So a couple inches of snow over here is nothing for me. And I guarantee if you know somebody like that, that's all they're gonna say. Like, back in my day, we learned how to drive in a snowstorm, to some extent. But with snowstorms, many jobs, many schools, many places of work are going to cancel work. You might have some PTO that you're going to be using. They might just pay you outright. You might have the option to say, hey, you know what? I'm not going into work. But I don't want you to make the same mistake that I've made in the past, and so many people do, that they don't even notice that they're making. All right. So if you're watching this, you're in the process of getting your business off the ground. You might be making money, but you want to make more. You want to scale. Nobody's saying you have to quit your job unless you want to, right? Most people lie to themselves when they say, if only I had the time. If I had the time, I could make that content. If I had the time, I could write that newsletter. If I had the time, I could go meet up with this person. If I had the time, I can work on this business. But what we forget is that we have time every single day. And I'm of the belief that after a time audit of your week, we can find many hours, no matter if you have a busy life, if you have a laid back life, if you have a lot of responsibilities, kids, whatever it might be. We find that you do have time in your week. Time specifically, not only for yourself, but to work on your business. With that being said, if you've been afforded a snow day, technically, I probably should have made this last week because this comes out on Tuesday. And most people that got a snow day is going to be Monday, right? Look at that. Look at that. Hindsight's 2020. But regardless, you can still use this because it's still winter technically. And there's going to be more snow days. And you have other days in which you're not going to go to work. So the principle, what I'm getting at still matters. Back to what I was saying. If you've been awarded a day off, granted, if you have the stress of life, if you have the stress of bills, if you have the stress of family, all you're going to really want to do is relax, right? If it's Monday that you have off, everybody wishes that there was a day between Saturday, Sunday, or after Sunday before Monday so you can have time to yourself. If you're working 40, 50, maybe 60 hours a week, some people work Saturdays included, then the only time that you really get off to yourself is a few minutes on that weekend. Friday comes, you're off work, you might have to get up, you might get some people, you might have to go hang out with some friends. Saturday comes, you have to clean the house, you have to go grocery shopping, you got to take care of your responsibilities, you have to honor an engagement, you have to go to things that you said you were going to go to. And Sunday, if you don't watch it, if you're not careful, becomes Monday prep, and you end up thinking about Monday. And then, like I said, that weekend version of you tends to dwindle, right when you go to sleep on Sunday sometimes, depending on if you like your job or not. But where's the time to work on your business? Now, most people might have some dedicated time, isolated time on a Saturday or Friday after work, or maybe even Sunday, that they will get some work done. But most people feel like it's not enough time. They say there's not enough hours in the day, right? And granted, I'm realizing the more content that I make that I talk slow, even though in my mind I'm over here moving. Right now I feel like I'm going a little slow. But that's just how it goes. That's why YouTube and all these other platforms allow you to listen to this at one point. I find myself at 1.25 or 1.5 speed. But anyways, this is what I'm getting at. If you have a snow day, or if you had a snow day, if you have paid time off, you can use that time productively. Every fiber of your being might be saying, I work so hard. I finally got time off, a day to myself. I want to just relax and do nothing. Yet, there's a fire inside of you that says we still need more money. We're working on this business. We didn't do what we said we were going to do. And now it's time for you to work on that. And what I'm putting out there, the breadcrumbs that are leading us to this point are, you can use this time to work on your business. It doesn't have to be the whole day, but if you've been afforded a snow day, or if you have paid time off, you don't necessarily need to enjoy your vacation or enjoy that day off. Given the perspective of, I need to have fun, right? Going back to the example of working out. When you work out, you're literally tearing muscle fibers. Tearing muscle fibers is not fun, but as you rest and you eat and you give the muscle nutrients, it grows back stronger. So the act of working out and tearing those muscles is not fun. You can find joy in a workout if you go with somebody else, if it's just something that you like to do. But at its simplest form, tearing muscle fibers is not fun. So in psychology, you have a positive and negative, not positive as in good or negative as in bad, but more so positive as an additive and negative as you're removing something, right? So objectively, it's a negative experience. You just broke muscle fibers. For a positive end goal, why don't you look at that? Or let me frame it this way. I believe you should look at your days off in a similar way. Let me explain. If you, for some reason, have next Monday off as a snow day, are you going to use it A, going over a friend's house, B, watching TV all day, C, spending time with family, or D, working on your business? Now, in a perfect world, you can block out time and do all four of those things, technically. But what's the chances that you're going to do all four? Or if you know yourself, you know which of those four that you're going to do, right? See, I'm a little fun in the head to the point that I just love working on my business. I remember when I was working 9 to 5 and I had a day off. I remember it like it was yesterday. Hey, KJC, we're going to the beach. Hey, KJC, we're going to the club. Hey, KJC, it's 90 degrees. We're all off work. Come on, let's go. Old girl that you wanted to talk to is over there every single time, or majority of the time. Nah, y'all go ahead. I'm over here. Y'all see me. I'm at Barnes& Nobles. I'm going to get some work done. I'm working on my business. Now, you know what? That sounds like fun. Maybe the next time. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to work on my business, right? I'm not saying that's good or bad to choose working on your business over going out and having fun in your 20s. But what I am saying is I carved out time for that regardless of the circumstance. If the circumstance was, hey, it's the weekend, it's hot out, and we can get free stuff, or you don't have to drive, that doesn't change the fact that I have to do what I said I was going to do. right? So if you're looking at your day off and you have a snow day, or for some reason you took a paid day off, how much time is blocked out for working on your business? Think about that. Like, actually, how much time do you have cut out to focusing, thinking, researching, doing the thing, create? Like, how much time is dedicated already towards working on your business? And if you're given a snow day, or let's just say next week you just take off, what are you going to do? Again, most people, nobody's wrong to say I have a whole bunch of stuff that's already hanging that I got to take care of. But at the same time, your business should come towards the top of your priorities. I'm not going to say first because I don't know your situation, but your business should come at the top of your priorities. So you need to think about this time off as extra time towards your business. I go back to that saying, people always say, I wish I had more time. When I'm working with somebody one-on-one and they talk about how, if only, right? If only I had the money. If only I had the time. If only I was a different person. If only I got told yes. If only all these different things. I say there's a very high chance that if you had insert blank, you still wouldn't get it done. You can't just jump to step 3 or level 3 or level 4 without getting past level or step 1. Quick story. Back during the pandemic, my roommate, I lived with a roommate, and I'm over here buying courses, working on my stuff, getting my business off the ground. I already had an LLC, made a little bit of money, right? But I'm trying to take it to the next level. And I always was looking outward instead of inward. And I'm over here like, oh my goodness, like if only I had like some peace and quiet. If only I had the time to get this work done, everything would be different. But you're here, you're loud, you invite people over. Who knows what time you guys are going to bed? Everything, it's just hard, you know what I mean? If only, if only, if only. Little baby KJC was so naive. Time comes where roommates say, hey, a couple friends and I are going up north. We're going to Maine for the weekend. Like Friday, Saturday? That's what I'm asking. It's more like I forget the exact number of days. It had to be at least 4 days. They were going to be out the house and it was just going to be me. And I'm thinking to myself, perfect. Oh my goodness. What did I say? As long as I have some time, I have the peace and quiet, I can do this. I'm going to lock in. Everything's going to be cool. The time comes. Roommates left. Deuces. I got the place. And first day comes. What's KJC doing? You know what? Okay, so for day one, let me just watch some TV. You know, I'm big into anime. Let me watch some anime. You know, I'll compile some notes later. It is what it is. Boom, 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 right? No work gets done. Day 2. Okay, you know what? Let me get focused. I have a list of things I want to do. I have a list of things I need to do, right? At the time, getting my marketing agency off the ground, I had to make a list of dealerships I wanted to offer this marketing service to. I already got some feedback. I'm like, okay, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the feedback that I already got. I'm going to build this out better, and I'm going to figure out what I can do to bring more value. Not only to show them a return of investment from what I'm doing, but also so I can set their whole business up in a better way. Day 2 passes, didn't get any work done. Day 3 comes, and I remember this like it was yesterday. I'm sitting on the couch, I'm watching TV, and I'm over here. The day is already halfway gone. I noticed that the sun is starting to set. I want to say, or was it? It was around like summertime. I want to say it was like, I don't know the exact, I just know the sun was about to set, but it wasn't there yet. I was on the couch, I was watching TV, and something just hit me. My inner voice was like, I thought you said if only you had the time. I thought you said if only you had peace and quiet. I thought you said all this stuff, if only, if only, if only, you'd be successful, you'd be further along, you'd be making more money, you wouldn't be in this situation. And look at this. Day 1 passed, you did nothing. Day 2 passed, you did nothing again. Day 3 is about to be gone, and what are you doing? You're sitting here on the TV, watching the TV, just doing nothing. It doesn't sound like if only you had more time. It sounds like you're only making excuses, and that's how you're using your time. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I was sitting there and I had that moment of reflection with myself, and I was just like, damn, I don't need more time. I don't need peace and quiet. What I need is to be honest with myself, stop making excuses, and get the work done. At that time, I was blaming somebody else for my mistakes. And when we look back, sometimes what I find working one-on-one, people feel guilty because they don't want to give themselves any time off. It's the other one. It's the other way around. They're working all these hours. They might have a family, and they feel guilty if they take a moment to just relax for a moment, to decompress. Because I finally got a little bit of time. How come I'm not working on my business? What's wrong with me? I'm a piece of crap. And I have to stop them and say, hey, that's not true. That's just not the case. So regardless of if you're on one end of the spectrum or the other, if you're saying if only you had time and you actually have time, or if you wish you had time and you don't have time, or however it goes, the best thing you can do is to make sure that you have blocked out time. Having time blocked out, assigned to a task, not just I'm gonna do business or work, as specific as you can get. Again, I'm always shouting out Nick Kalinda because he's one of my favorite authors. In the same book, imagine reading this book. And it's not like he came up with it, but I just referencing it from there. The more specific you can get about a task, the higher the chances are of you actually doing it. And basically, there's not a single thing that we do without having a mental image first. So meaning if I'm gonna pick up my phone, there's a mental image in my head before I do it. If I'm going to go to the store, there's a mental image I have before I do it. If I'm going to quote unquote get work done, there's a mental image before I do it. So when I say if only I had time, what I can do and what you can do to make sure that you follow through on using your time is not just blocking it out, but writing down what you're going to do in that. And to make the mental image that you have of what you need to do as clear as possible. It could be very detailed, right? So if I say at 6 o'clock, I'm going to work on my business, there's a less chance of me getting that done compared to me saying at 6 o'clock, I'm going to get on my laptop and I'm going to write half a page of notes on this specific article. Just the detail alone brings imagery to the mind. And because it brings imagery to the mind, the image reinforces myself to be able to think that I can do it. And because of that, the chances of me actually executing and follow through on that are much higher. But again, that's not a KJC thing, that's a human thing. So when we go down this road of, if only I had more time, how to use my time wisely. Okay, if I do actually have the time, what am I gonna do? Like, how do I actually follow through and do it? Tying everything back to structure, because again, I'm teaching structured entrepreneurship. Number one, use your time wisely. You can't use your time wisely unless you know how much time and what time you have. That's why I always suggest people to do an audit. If you have a snow day, if you have a day off, yes, you're going through real life problems, real life stress, but you should also understand that you really want this business to get off the ground, or you really want to be more profitable and impact more people to make a change. So in order to do that, you need to block out time so it's uninterrupted. I'm talking do not disturb. I'm talking locked in. And when you have that locked in time, that blocked out time to do your task, make the task as detailed as you possibly can. If you're going to the gym, don't just write down gym. Write a picture of you in workout clothes or you at the gym at that time. So when you look at it, you can visually see yourself do it, impress upon the image in your mind to make it more likely for it to happen. If you have something down very specific, at 6 o'clock, I'm going to do this specific thing, this specific way, even if something happens at 5:30 and it throws you off. It's easier to get back into the groove. It's easier to get back into the flow because your association with what you need to do is so clear. It's easier to just make it happen. Opposed to if it's vague, oh, it's okay. It's a little blurry in my mind. This is your subconscious. It's a little blurry in my mind. It will just get work. So technically I can work on something else by listening to something. That's not how it goes. What you need to do is you have to block out this time. The same way that you want respect from everybody else, your business wants respect from you. The future version of you wants the respect of actually handling this with care. Be detailed with what it is you want to do, how you want to go about it. Make sure it's blocked out, and don't take for granted the time that you do have. Understand the time that you do have by looking into it and doing the audit. So when you have time in your regular 9 to 5, 5 to 9, Saturday, Sunday, you can figure out exactly where you're going to input that time and what you're going to specifically do in that time. And in the event that you're given a snow day, in the event that you take a paid time off, in the event that you have this time that you weren't expecting, you don't need to make it all about building your business, but understand that you can make part of it about building your business. And if you're going to do that, make sure that it's detailed in exactly what you're going to do. So that's my little 2 cents on that. I don't want you lying to yourself. I want you progressing further. And with that being said, I'm gonna go to KJ. Everybody's favorite part of the show. What's KJC been up to? I feel like working so hard, working so much, I don't put time into expressing or conveying what I'm doing. I'm getting good feedback of the marketing advice and tips and stuff like that I'm giving at the end, which is really cool. That's why I say, hey, if you're watching this, hit subscribe. You're in this community. You're in this family with us. I'm here to let you know what you can do, how you can leverage your job. You don't have to quit. You don't have to jump out the window. You can get into and be profitable in entrepreneurship more efficiently than anybody else because you followed Structured Entrepreneurship by KJC. So, though I said I'm going to have respect for myself and I'm not just going to skip what I'm up to, let's just say this. away from the business and stuff like that, I'm getting my health under control, right? Not like health like I got a cold or anything like that. I got so many forms of eczema. It's not even funny. I got flare-ups. I got so many things. And it's not about complaining. It's just about understanding how to navigate it, how to mitigate these flare-ups, and to keep going even when it happens, right? So that's very stressful. Even if mentally I can overcome it, my body is like, I don't care how strong you are mentally. We're going through it. So you have stress, we're going to show it. So I'm working on my health, right? So not just in the essence of that, but also trying to eat better, sleep better, all that stuff. Work out. Last thing I need, I'm over here getting fat. I don't want to be fat. I want to be in shape, right? Everybody has a prime. I'm trying to hit my prime. Same thing with you. If you ambitious professional building your dream, in between meetings after working before the sun rises, don't forget to take your health top priority. You know what I mean? If you get some money, don't get fat. If you get some money, stay in shape. Health is wealth. And that's what I'm trying to do. So I'll say, though I'm still getting work done, though I'm still progressing towards everything I'm going after, health has been up in my week and making sure that I'm okay, healthy. Between regular doctor, my holistic doctor, got to go see him. That's what I'm up to. And if I transition that to, I got a couple articles and stuff like that. I'm getting good feedback as well of the layout of the podcast, the visuals and stuff like that. I really appreciate that. But I said it's going to be a clean, efficient episode. So with that being said, I'm going to transition into the marketing part, right? The little marketing tips. But instead of bringing something new, I want to first just explain something that a lot of people were talking about. They're like, SEO is just so confusing. And I know it can be, but to make simple, I went a little too deep and a little too complex last week. I apologize. How you show up on the internet in an organic manner is basically SEO. Like, not what you pay for. Technically you could pay to get featured, and that could be paid. Organic is what we're talking about, SEO in that realm. Search engine optimization. You want to make sure that your content your business, your brand, your person, whatever it is shining in a good light on the search engines and that it ranks high organically. And to do that, you basically have to do or abide by what Google and the search engines like or want. Things like putting stuff in a language that they understand. Things like frequently using tools that they offer you. Things like making Google your end all be all. No, I'm not saying that. You don't really need to worry about SEO if you're just getting your business off the ground and stuff like that. That's more so like a bigger marketing play, but it's nothing to be intimidated by. The SEO space, as I follow, is crazy. You got people that are vets, like I remember back in the day before this happened, and you got the new people that are coming in like, well, you don't know anything because now everything is going to be AI, and it's just like, all you really need to do is stay abreast and of what's happening in the industry, of what's happening in general, as it pertains to SEO and how you can rank and how you can show up. It's your podcast, it's your home. I got you. If you can't keep up with every single little thing, I'm gonna fill you in on the things that are important. And right now, the things that are important is the Google Business Profile. And if you don't have a Google Business Profile, it's the homepage of your website. You got to make sure your homepage of your website, even though it doesn't need to be super flashy and crazy, it needs to be clean. Not chaotic, but clean. Clean will get the job done. Clean will help you rank. Clean in the sense of you dot your I's, cross your T's. You mention different products and services, as well as make mention and intertwine, not just keywords, but some of the areas that you service, right? If you have somebody to build you a quick website or whatever it might be, you don't necessarily need to focus on having 10, 20, 30 pages or sub pages, because technically the home page still has more weight than the individual pages, unless it's like a blog content or something like that. But more so, just make sure your home page is on point. If somebody's going to charge you all this money, actually, let me stop, because there's some people that charge a little bit of money and they do great work, and some people charge a lot of money and do bad work. So I'm not going to give you any advice in that sense. But ask them questions, interview multiple people, and see what feels right. And that's pretty much all you really need to worry about. Anybody that knows their basics should be able to get your site up and running. To me, building websites is a pain. I'm good on the front end, little basic HTML, little code knowledge, but I'm not like good with HTML and back end stuff, and it drives me crazy. But that's all. I'm just reiterating the SEO importance and stuff like that. I'm not gonna bore you guys too much. But with that being said, if you did have a snow day, I hope you're safe. If you didn't have a snow day, back to the old grind. If you enjoyed this episode, hit subscribe, share it with somebody so that they can be in this community with us too. Remember to focus on your best next step. You don't have to do everything at once. Only today matters. And you can accomplish the goals that you set. It just takes the proper strategy and the proper structure. But with that being said, I hope you have a great rest of your week. This is Kyle Jerome Carter. I'll see you in the next one.